So you're thinking about making a move to San Antonio, Texas. In this video, Steve and I are going to show you around Alamo Ranch. This is a great suburb on the west-northwest part of San Antonio. And you'll want to stick around to the very end because Steve and I are going to take you to the best kept secret right here in Alamo Ranch. My name is Katie Powers, and my husband Steven Garza and I get phone calls and emails from people just like you looking to make a move every single day. Whether you're 6 days or 6 months away from moving into the area, we would absolutely love to hear from you. Steve and I would be honored to be your realtors of choice and help you make that smooth transition into San Antonio and its surrounding areas. Now let's dive in to Alamo Ranch. Right now, I'm in front of the amenity center here at Alamo Ranch. As you can see, there's lots to do. There's tennis courts, there's a beautiful pool for little ones of 2 with a little splash pad. There's a big slide back there going into the pool. Just a great way to beat the heat. And as you can see, we are covered by shade because it is 100 degrees today. So we're trying to beat the heat too. So here in Alamo Ranch, it was actually 175 acres that were owned by some nuns, and it was sold about 20 years ago to a developer. So once it was developed, they started building homes around 2008, and it really has exploded. It's very similar to Stone Oak. In fact, a lot of the locals call Alamo Ranch the Stone Oak of the West Side. So it's very similar in that it has a lot of commercial within the neighborhood of Alamo Ranch. Now, what's so great about it is you've got an H-E-B, a Target, a Ross, a Home Depot. All of those main stores that you need are right here in Alamo Ranch. You don't have to leave the neighborhood really to get those great things. There's pediatricians, there's dentist office, there's everything you need, including shopping and restaurants right here. So a lot of my clients that live in this area live in this bubble. They don't really experience San Antonio traffic unless they have to leave for work because everything they need is in this area. Another great fact about Alamo Ranch is it is outside the 1604 loop, which means there are no city taxes. So you only have county taxes, not the city of San Antonio taxes. That also helps on your mortgage payment. So all of that combined makes this one of the most sought after suburbs. And if you check out our top 5 suburbs, you'll learn a little bit more about why Alamo Ranch is so great. So let's get after it. We're gonna take you to 4 different homes right here in Alamo Ranch and different price points so you can see which will fit your budget and see if it's maybe an area that you'd be interested in moving to. So we'll see you at the first house.
All right, we're here at our first home in Alamo Ranch. A little bit about Alamo Ranch. It is like Stone Oak, as Katie mentioned. It does have a lot of little neighborhoods within the whole community of Alamo Ranch. So like Stone Oak had, where you live in this part of the community in this neighborhood, right? So you have gated homes in here. Like Katie mentioned, Alamo Ranch was started around 2008-ish. The house, our first house that I'm gonna bring you was actually started in 2006. That's basically right when Alamo Ranch first started. You can tell this is the older part of Alamo Ranch. They're still building in here and they plan on building for many more years. They're gonna keep opening up phases after phase. And so a little bit about each community. They're gonna have different HOAs. So this community, this neighborhood in Alamo Ranch is $360 a year. And with that, you get access to the community center. You're also going to get access to the smaller community centers that service each neighborhood, or they might share with another neighborhood in Alamo Ranch, depending on where you're at. They put community centers all over with just little parks, you know, basketball courts, not so much a swimming pool, but, you know, playgrounds for the kids, stuff that doesn't need a whole lot of maintenance. So that way, if you just want to take your kids over to the community center in the evening and, you know, let them burn some energy, but not, you know, change them for the pool and whatnot, those little community centers are excellent. This first house behind me, 5723 Grayson Cove. This thing is $360,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-story house, and it's got the game room, it's got the office. This is a typical 2-story in Alamo Ranch. This one's located on a corner, as you can see. This is your everyday 2-story. If you're looking to get into Alamo Ranch and you got that $300K budget, these homes are great. Plenty of space, 3,052 square feet. It's got a fenced backyard. You can tell by the trees, the age of the homes in the area. And so this is literally your everyday 2-story in San Antonio. These are littered all around San Antonio, depending on what part of San Antonio you work in, where you want to be. This house in particular is a corner home, which is great. You're going to have a little bit bigger yard. Right, the average yard is 0.16 of an acre, 0.18. On the corners, generally they're 3 or 4 sides brick, mandatory now. And on top of that, you get a little bit more land. So you get about 0.2 to 0.25 for a lot size. And this community is walking distance right down to the elementary school, which is great. You know, if you got little ones, you don't have to hop in the car. If you want to have a fun little bike ride on the way home from school, walk down the bike or the scooter and, you know, let them hop on and just let them burn some energy before you got to sit down and do some of that homework. All right, on to house number 2.
So we are here at our second house. We are in the subdivision of Santa Maria at Alamo Ranch. This is, like we discussed earlier in the first video, there are different neighborhoods within Alamo Ranch. Now this one's HOA is a little different because the total is $580 for the year. That includes your Alamo Ranch amenities, but then you also get a separate playground and little center for the Santa Maria at Alamo Ranch neighborhood. So this part is a little older. It's built in 2006, this area of Alamo Ranch. It is closer to the freeway, closer to 1604. But if you can hear the cicadas are chirping, you don't hear road noise, you don't hear freeway noise. They did a great job developing Alamo Ranch to make sure that you're far enough off the freeway that you're not hearing that road noise, which is really great. So the house we're coming up on is 4826 Valtosca. This property, again, was built in 2006. They have done a complete remodel and update of this house. It actually looks quite modern for the neighborhood. Most of the homes out here are very hill country chic, is kind of what we're calling it, with the brick and the stone. This one's got some peaks, and it is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, just over 2,500 square feet. It does have an office and a game room. And my favorite, Steve cares about the garage. I care about the primary bedroom being on the first floor. I don't have that right now, and I'm telling you, my next house will. I work out a lot, but I do not want to work out trying to get to my bedroom walking up the stairs. So primary is downstairs in this one. This one is an absolute beauty. One other thing I do want to touch on that I don't believe we've touched on yet is the school district. You are in North ISD. It is a very highly rated district. Now, there are great schools in San Antonio in general, but North ISD is a great school district and the schools in this area in Alamo Ranch are fairly new because it's a newer school. So the ratings are really good in this area. Another really big reason why people move and love Alamo Ranch. It's also a very military friendly community because you are very close to Lackland Air Force Base here. So you've got a lot of active duty and retired in this area. So that's enough about this house. Let's go on to house number 3.
We are here at our 3rd house in Alamo Ranch. A little bit about this section. This is the newer part. The homes in here were built roughly in 2017. The 3rd house that I'm going to bring you here, it was built in 2017. So, you know, as you get further out away from the highway, our communities get newer and newer. It's just how we build. The builders always start out close to the highway, and then the further back you get, the newer it gets. Same with the Stone Oak community as well. HOA in this section is also $360 annually, give or take. So you still get access to all the same amenities as house number 1 and house number 2. You just get the newness. And in this section, they definitely started decking out the houses. The one I'm gonna bring you it has over $100,000 in upgrades. This right here, 5807 Sugarberry. It's a huge 1-story, 2,900 square feet. It's being offered at $530,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 3 full bath, and my personal favorite, you got the 3-car garage back there. 4 sides, brick and stone. I love that too. Just a great feature that these builders did out here in these newer homes. This house is totally decked out to the nines. Check out the photos. If you look behind me, you can tell that the trees are starting to grow, right? They're a good 6, 7, 8 years old now. And so they're getting up there, their canopies are starting, and they're starting to provide shade for the grass that we need here. Today, it's 100+ degrees. And so, you know, having those trees in your front and backyards. This house in particular sits on 0.24 of an acre, which is a good size lot for a 1-story. When it's 2,900 square feet, it's gonna have a huge footprint. And so you need that big lot with the fenced backyard for the pets and the kids. It also, if you look behind me, you can tell that we're at the start of the hill country, right? So closer to 1604, where our builders always start building. They start building closer to the highway, and then as they build out, they get further and further away from the highway, and the homes get newer. But closer to the highway, it's more flat, and then you start moving more north, northwest, outside of San Antonio, like Katie mentioned, no city taxes. You start getting into the hills, so you'll have slanted backyards. Sometimes they'll level them for the homeowners, but this is when you start getting into the hill country itself, and you just get, you know, homes on the side of the hills. So the backyards are just a little bit slanted, still usable. Many people will level them too, but beautiful home, beautiful community in Alamo Ranch. It has everything from new to 10, 15 years old. So if you're going to be in the Northwest, you definitely want to check out this community.
All right, so we are here at our 4th and final house in Alamo Ranch. We are in the preserve at Alamo Ranch. This is one of the gated communities within Alamo Ranch. There are a few of them. This one was built out by David Weekley. It's a very great builder. There's lots of different builders in Alamo Ranch. I'm pretty sure every builder in San Antonio has been in Alamo Ranch. You've got Highland Homes, Gihon, which isn't called Gihon anymore, but Gihon was Gihon when they built in here. Perry Homes, David Weekley, all your big builders are gonna be in the gated communities. And then you have Centex, Pulte, KB Homes, all of those builders are in the non-gated communities. So the home that we're coming up on is 3331 Calhoun Cove. Now this house, guys. This is huge. It is over 3,600 square feet. It is 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It's got the master downstairs, bedrooms upstairs. It's huge. Game room is expansive. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's selling at $600,000. I believe they are doing a price change this weekend to $585,000. But on that note, here in Alamo Ranch, home values range from the high 2s all the way up to 600. You rarely see homes selling over 650. That's really like the max here in Alamo Ranch, which is also why it is so sought after, because the pricing is just so reasonable and your bang for your buck just goes further in this area. You can get a home in the 275s, but really the median sales price here in Alamo Ranch is going to be right around that $400,000 price point. But if you do have $600,000 to spend, you're gonna get a big house in a beautiful gated community here in Alamo Ranch. Now here at the Preserve at Alamo Ranch, the HOA is $280 a quarter. You do have, of course, all the amenities of Alamo Ranch. And then right here in this gated part, there is an additional playground and park. So now Steve and I are gonna take you to our best kept secret right here in Alamo Ranch. So make sure you don't go anywhere. This is a place that my clients specifically said this is their favorite spot in Alamo Ranch. So you don't want to miss it. We'll see you there. All right, so we are here at Alamo Ranch's best kept secret. And guys, this place is phenomenal. This is a restaurant called Tripoli's. It is Mediterranean food. Steve and I just grabbed a bite and we're gonna share with you what we ate. Just like all these other Instagram and TikTok foodies, right? So my client actually referred us to this restaurant. They come here once a week and I don't blame them. It was really good.
Yeah, it was fairly priced too, which is, you know, very important when you're living on a budget. Everybody's seeing the cost of food going up these days, and you know, the pricing was just spectacular for the food. It was amazing.
Yeah, Steve had a great Greek salad for $7. I mean, it's really hard to find a big salad for that price anywhere
Big salad
anymore. And then I got a Euro bowl. Gyro, Euro, she's how she said it. I don't know. We need to go to Greece so we can learn this, but so good. So come on in, take a look at it with us. You will be pleasantly surprised. I also had my client tell me a few other restaurants in this shopping center are really good as well. So just like we told you at the beginning of the video, Alamo Ranch is chocked full of commercial properties as well. Lots of restaurants. And honestly, I'm surprised at how great these restaurants are. So that's all we have for you for the Alamo Ranch vlog. I hope it was super informational and helpful for you. And if you would like more information on moving into the area, give us a call or email us. All of our information is listed in the description box below. Steve and I would be honored to be your realtors of choice. We'll see you guys on the next one.